Ugh. Boys! Boys. Guess what, boys? It is me, Flashback Frederick. Today, I have a build that is using one of my most beloved uniques that I never have used with anything yet. That is going to be the Medusa's Gaze shield. So, I've had so many builds where I've tried to fit this shield in because I think it's such a cool item. But it is ridiculous in terms of stats. Look at the required strength, 219. It is insane. It is insane. And since we've got new items and new rune words and things, you know, over the past several decent patches, it's left behind. Further and further behind until, fingers crossed, we get updates to elite uniques. This is probably one of the best builds I can find to really fit it, to kind of fit the niche. So, of course, there's better alternatives, and this build can function without this shield, but I wanted to keep it as the main focus of this build. So, without further ado, boys, here's my weird little Medusa Barbarian, which I've been enjoying. So, the main idea with this is we are going to be using Berserk for not what you think, not for the magic damage, but for the sake that it removes our defense. So we have more of a chance to be hit when we have that little Berserk star above our head. That's the idea, okay? So I'm going to be leap attacking into a group of mobs. I'm going to be berserking down single targets as your normal kind of Pitzerker, okay? And then, by that point, we're going to get hit enough to proc Plague low res, as well as our Medusa's low res, one or the other. And that is going to open up our poison damage, okay? We've got poison damage charms, we've got Asunder here, we have a facet in the shield, facet in the helm, and then on switch, we also have our enchant pre-buff with Demon Limb, along with my first ever use of the Grief Wound Word to proc Venom, okay? So after I proc it once, I'm just going to throw it on the ground for you boys, because I feel dirty, okay? But I'm not actually I'm not actually killing mobs with it, okay? It's only to proc Venom, because I can't be bothered switching out Treachery in my cube, okay? I just didn't have it spare right now. So, let's get into the build, hey boys? So, stat, skills, gear, and then we'll bloody, I don't know, go out for tacos or something. That'd be pretty nice, wouldn't it? So, strength is obviously high, because this absolute unit needs everybody in the family to have decent strength, okay? It's retarded. Now, dexterity, decent chunk as well. I put some leftover points here just to bump up my attack range to feel nice and comfortable, and that's also why I have my enchant here on switch to get that up further too. So I'm going to enchant myself, enchant Raise in there, and then if I switch back over, it's looking pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, we probably can get away without it, but I thought it was a nice pre-buff to put on switch with the Grief just to get that Venom proc, okay? Good chunk into Vitality, and then I've got nothing energy because who cares? Barbarian I always love because it's easy to cap out your resistances, so we're very tanky on that front, and I really enjoy that. Decent hit recovery, we've got a good spread of Deadly Strike, which we get from the few pieces of gear, but we'll get to that straight after we go through the skills, boys. Now, for the War Cries, we've got one into Find Item. We're not going to bother using Grimward, maxing out Battle Orders, and that's about it, boys. Very simple. Combat Masteries. We're using a sword in our main hand, which we'll get to, so Blade Mastery is going to be maxed out, 1.1 wonders here, and the rest in combat skills. So, for this, we're going to be maxing out Berserk. This is going to be our single target champion hitter, okay? So we can elite pop with this boy and single target, which is very nice. Whirlwind for our AoE to apply poison, okay? After that is our leap attack, so we can hunt down single target with leap attack, great attack rating on this, and then finish him with Berserk, Whirlwind for AoE. That's the idea, okay? Gear. Main hand, we have Balrog Blade. With the setup that we have, this is the best damage that we can get while maintaining reasonable frames with our Whirlwind, and I think it's a quite decent base for it. Cleansing Aura, we got lower res when struck. Yes, I know I could pretty much just use two plagues instead of using Medusa's Gaze, but the whole build is that I want to use Medusa's Gaze, so just, you know, stick a thumb up your ass and watch the rest of the video, please. Thank you. So 2 skills, it rolls between 1 and 2, that's nice. Great Deadly Strike, also minus enemy poison res, which I'm stacking, okay? Very valuable. Ariet's Face. You can go for a rare option here, get 2 sockets, put extra facets and that sort of thing in here, but because we still have very strong physical damage with this build, Ariet's Face just fit very good, and I didn't really need to switch it out. We needed the bonus attack rating, all other stats, strength, dexterity. 4 plus 4 to combat skills is amazing, because that's where most of our damage is, right? Spread from Whirlwind, Berserk, and then Leap Attack, so it fit very damn well. I got Mara's here just for stats across the board. I could probably put a High Lord's here instead, or even a Cat's Eye. Really? Just for more run speed? It is a kind of free spot, so I'll leave that up to you boys. Another option is you could put Metal Grid and then summon a Hustle Iron Golem. That's a nice fun alternative. Shield, we have Medusa's Gaze. Straight facet in there boys for poison damage, the rest is good to go. Okay, so we've got 10% chance to cast low res when struck. Decent block rate too on this thing. Gore Riders, your classic combo with Raven Frost, right, for your melee builds. Why do I have a razor tail here? I'm so sorry, boys. What is going on? I thought that was supposed to be String of Ears. Okay, there we go. String of Ears, not razor tail. Then I've got attack rating, dual leech, res, ring, just something very basic to fill the point of what we're kind of looking for in terms of a ring. And then Trangs for 25 poison skill damage, which adds up with Bramble. Okay, 50 poison skill plus 25. We've got 75% up. Fawn's Aura, which is great because we're going to be getting hit when we're berserking in the middle of the mob, boys, because our defense is just 0, yeah? 5 cold res, which is nice. Life after each kill, which is great. And we also get Spirit of the Barb charges, which is kind of cute, boys. So once we proc Grief and our Venom, then I'll summon that Barb so I don't lose it. String of Ears. Now, down here, we've got Torch, Annihilus, Poison, Sunder, and then we've got all of these ridiculous small charms because that's just what I want to test with this, boys. It's bloody good. So we can see our damage is 19 and 17. I'm going to hop out to the pits to start with, and I'm going to proc that Venom. Let me proc Venom first, okay? And then I'll show you my Mercenary setup. What's over here on this side? Let's have a look. Oops, switch here. There we are. Venom is procced already. We can see our totals have gone down to about 7. That is compacting our poison damage. Okay? I like how the sword is red too with enchant from Demon Limb, so it matches quite nicely. Yeah? If you don't want to use Demon Limb, then your sword is going to look green from Venom. So, just personal preference, right? So if you go for a rare helm, then you can get red there, and then you can match some red. Maybe I should have done that. That looked pretty sick, actually. Oh, I kind of want to now. Alright, whatever, boys. Let's just get to the showcase, eh? So, Plague, we've got 20% chance, 25%, sorry, for Poison Nova. So when we do leap on someone, we've got a decent chance, because the attack rating is not too bad. So let me proc over here. Boop. And lower res, everything is usually lower res once we get hit, which is pretty nice. This is probably not the best place to get a decent amount of proc, since everything can kind of get killed reasonably quickly. But at least it's good we're showing that this build can kill shit. That's always fun. Very strong. You see the poison damage here is majority of our damage on that whirlwind, so we've got 5,800. Lower res is absolutely brilliant. I mean, we could argue that we don't really need the Sunder Charm here, but I just had it for the sake of it. Let's move on out, but before we do, we'll show the Mercenary. So we've got Might on him for more damage, Fortitude Andy so he can hold his own, with Pride. So he's bumping up our physical damage on that front, okay? Level 20 Concentration Aura. We don't really need, I was going to say Pride again. We don't really need Reaper's Toll for Decrepify, because we don't want that overriding our lower res. So we thought we might as well, we'll double up his Strength Aura so we hit a little bit harder, we leech harder, and then go from there. Done. Pretty easy, okay? I'm going to bump this up to players 6. There we are, set to players 6. Also, I'm going to summon our Barb, and then I'm going to do F first on here, and then buff up all of those, and Shout as well. Because Shout doesn't really matter, because, I mean, our defense is still going to 0, so why the hell not, boys? Here we are. Let's leap right in the middle. Berserk. Lower res. That's how easy it is to get this thing to proc. Good poison damage. It's kind of fun not using venom on times where I would forget when I was testing it, because then you can see everything just die and pop off. The damage over time is quite nice. So this is player 6, boys. This is player 6. We'll find another good place to go to. Where should we go? I like Canyon the Magi. I like the spread of mobs out there. I can't quite remember if they're immune to poison, but I know a few are immune to cold, so we should have a safe bet to go there. Also, Arcane is another option we could go to. I'll do a little bit more on P6, and then I'll hop over to P8, just because, boys. Yeah? What do we got? Immune. Here we go. Look at that! 1 leap attack, and then we're good. I think these fellas might be immune to poison. Yes, they are. So the maggots are immune to poison, so let's just forget about them. We still can do damage, but it's definitely significantly slower, as you can see. Let's hop over and find some tombs here. Okay, pre-buffing on, boys. The Barb is still... no. Spirit of Barb? Here we are. He's alive. Lower res. Easy as that, boys. As long as you got like 4 enemies around you, 1 berserk, and then you get hit, everything gets low res. I suppose it's a very good support build as well. Even if you just have the 1 plague that you want to chuck in and you're, you know, rushing around P8 games with maybe Nova Sorks and shit pre-infinity. Very good option. Come on, hit me. There we go. The higher player count we kind of push this build, the more inclined we are to shift towards physical damage. So for that reason, I probably would limit this at about P3, P4, and this being P6 currently. I definitely still can do it, but Barbarian definitely does succeed further with the physical damage, you know, focus. But I like the idea of really pushing that poison damage just for a shift, you know? So for that fact, I'm going to go back to players 3. I'm going to go back to town and find another spot where we can clear. I'm going to go to Catacombs and work our way through to Andariel and see if we can kill that bitch to finish off. Hey, boys? Alright, here we go. Let's enchant myself. Enchant the Barb over again. And work our way through to Andariel's and finish off there. I do enjoy the leap attack being quite consistent with proccing the poison over 25% of the time, so it's nice to get a little bit of AoE before you start. Although I believe there is a bit of overlap with the applied poison damage with Poison Nova, so that's something to bear in mind as well. So perhaps I should switch out the, what do you call it, the Mercenaries and Andes, so he doesn't proc when hit. With the Barbs from Bramble, I think it's a fun little addition, but I don't really find myself using it too much, because it's not the most consistent thing. It dies a lot, you gotta repair it, and it's just, you know, can be a bit of a hassle, so I'd rather not. There we go. Need to proc my Venom again, so we'll do that. Level 3. Let's do it, boys. Here we are, Venomous proc. Let's go through and find level 4. I'm gonna guess it's down this way. Not exactly. Hopefully it doesn't take too long for me to find this one. Hope you boys are doing well. I hope you're enjoying the season. I hope you're enjoying the D4 season. If maybe you're playing that. I don't care. Whatever floats your boat, boys. So, if you do end up finding some weird little poison small charms that you don't know what to do with, perhaps just keep them. Just keep them. Stack them up, you know? Here we go. Great damage. It's definitely better with kind of medium density, I would say, with this build. Because you want to hop in when you're surrounded by about 4 or so, then your lower res is going to proc instantly like it did in most cases, right? Here we are. Once we berserk, we are good. Alright, I'm going to see if Andy's down this corner. If not, I might finish the video there, so it's not too long for you boys. Alright, let's clean out these 2 elite packs and I'll finish here. Come on, give me some lower res, bitch. There you go. Easy. Bubs doesn't really last too much. The static ripped through him pretty easily. This is players 3, boys. There we go. Sadly, it took too long to get Andariel's, but bugger it. We finished our showcase. There we go, boys. This is a weird build where you can finally find a decent use for Medusa's Gaze, but there is definitely better poison variants out there if you want to min-max this more. You know, change up the helm, change up the amulet for more deadly strike. You probably don't need the Sunder, I would say, and then you can go for two plagues and change up your bases. Even middle grid for hustle to ump up your whirlwind, you know, frames from your APS. So there you go, boys. Something fun. I think it looks kind of cool once you enchant the blade and whatnot. Yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Have a good one, boys. We'll see you next time. Yeah.